Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be doing another comic book video on the releases that are coming out for this Wednesday, June 10. And we have 5 more issues that are coming out as issue number 1s, just in case you guys want to start picking up on some comic books from the very beginning. Now, since Convergence just recently ended, some titles are being forced to go, well, not forced, but they're starting a new series in a sense. As you guys already know that yesterday I uploaded a very late video on June 3rd's releases, and today's video is going to be DC Comics oriented, but if you're interested in Marvel Comics, tomorrow I will be actually uploading a video similar to this one, talking about Marvel Secret War issue 1s that are coming out tomorrow. So, before I begin again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for showing support on my channel, and make sure to leave a like if you guys enjoy the video. So, let's go ahead and start off with the issues that are coming out this week. First, we got All-Star Squadron. I think it's called All-Star Section 8, All-Star Squadron. All-Star Section 8, this is a group that I'm not really too familiar with, but I know that their original origin, I believe, was located about in Gotham City. Now, remember their first appearances came out in Hitman, which you guys will be hearing here in a sec, but again, let's see what they're about. All-Star Section 8. First appearance of Section 8 was in Hitman issue 18, September 1997, created by Garth Ennis, John Macleod? I think that's how you pronounce the name, I'm not too sure, and a little bit of the aid of Steve Dillon. The origin of the name is a pun, which means mentally unfit for duty. It was a military term, I believe, for Section 8. The team is based in the Cauldron, which is the Irish section of Gotham City, and is led by Sixpack. There's not much information I can grab besides their last appearance was in Hitman 52. Next, we got one of my favorite characters that I recently got into. I used to have a friend who was really obsessed with this character, and we really did enjoy the show. He kept bugging me over and over to continue watching the show, and this character is Constantine. Constantine had a show, and the reason why I say has because NBC just recently announced, or one of the writers just recently announced, that they are not renewed for a second season. I'm hoping that DC and Warner Brothers, or CW in general, picks up the show because it was very great. Again, there was a lot of conflict about this character because he was a constant chain smoker. There was issues about whether or not he should be shown on the cover or even in the show itself smoking a cigarette, but that's his signature thing, so it's kind of weird. It's like taking the bat symbol away from Batman, in a sense. So let's check him out. Constantine, first appearance was in The Saga of the Swamp Thing issue 37, June 1985. He was created by Alan Moore, Stephen R. Bissett, and I believe John Toddleben, I believe. He's a magician detective. He's known for his cynicism, snarking, and his constant chain smoking. I'm not going to go too in-depth with this character, but he used to have a show and it was amazing, and I think it's currently up on Hulu right now. But personally, you guys, he's a character that's really worth checking out, especially now that he has an issue 1. Why wouldn't you want to pick this up? Next, we got Earth 2 Society. Recently, Earth 2 was a simple series that was coming out on the New 52. And then from there, they fought, I believe it was Darkseid, that destroyed basically their Earth. So I believe Earth 2 Society is supposed to be Justice League Society, or Justice Society's like variation and more of a modern approach, if that makes any sense. That's my guess on it. But again, here's a little background information on Earth 2 in general. Now, Earth 2 had its own comic run, which started back in July 2012. It always caught my eye because several issues later I see a Batman looking like Flashpoint Batman. Well, Flashpoint Batman in a sense, like the color scheme. Now, Earth 2 was destroyed during their fight with Darkseid. In Convergence, however, we see that they still survive, but I'm sorry guys, no more spoilers from here when it comes to Convergence, go pick it up. Now, it's a new series which still includes the survivors of Earth 2's war with Apocalypse. We still got Green Lantern, we got a new Batman this time, and other heroes of Earth 2 create a new world, but the question stands, will it be better than their last world they were originally from? Next, we have 2 very iconic characters because they were in a series with each other in the New 52 called Red Hood and the Outlaws. But this series isn't called Red Hood and the Outlaws. This series is just called Red Hood and Arsenal, which is interesting because in Red Hood and the Outlaws, Starfire was in there, but I'll be getting to Starfire after this little section here. Red Hood is obviously known as the second Robin that was with Batman. He got killed by the Joker, as you guys can read in Batman Under the Red Hood, or watch the film, the animated film, Batman Under the Red Hood, which, you know, basically they're the same thing. But I prefer the book because the book did put a bunch of stuff that felt like it was missing in the film. And Arsenal is one of my favorite characters because he's also portrayed on Arrow by Colton. and the way they portrayed him on Arrow was very perfect. It felt like I was reading it off from the book itself because he was very stubborn. He had like a really big ego. And if you guys should remember Arsenal because he came out in Young Justice if you've ever seen the show, and he also was known as Speedy, you know, Green Arrow's sidekick. There was a moment in time when he was called Red Arrow. They also introduced it on the game Injustice, where it's like an alternate timeline. And, you know, here's a little information on both the characters, both Red Hood, Jason Todd, and Arsenal. First, let's start off with Jason Todd. His first appearance was in Batman issue 357 that came out on March 1983. And as his appearance as a Robin, essentially, is in Batman issue 368 that came out in December 1983. Then, as Red Hood, he appeared in Batman issue 635, February 2005. That's a couple years later, actually. Jason Todd was created by Gary Conway and Don Newton. Red Hood Incarnation was created by Judd Winnick and Doug Monk? I can't pronounce that name, I'm sorry. Now, Red Hood is an interesting character because he first started out as an alias that was later introduced as the Joker's, you know, somewhat origin. But in this case, Red Hood is known as Jason Todd, the famous Robin who got killed by the hands of the Joker with a crowbar. Ow. There's also a film you guys can watch called Batman Under the Red Hood, as I already, you know, said it in the video. Now, the first appearance of Arsenal was in the New Titans issue 99, July 1993. He was created by Mort Weisinger and George Papp. I think I said those names correctly. My god, these names I cannot pronounce whatsoever. But anyways, he was originally known as Speedy, which first appeared in More Fun Comics issue 73, November 1941. We weren't even born yet! He also went under the alias as Red Arrow in Kingdom Come issue 2, which was already an alternate universe like how I mentioned with Injustice kind of deal. And in the mainstream universe, he appeared as as Red Arrow in Justice League of America Volume 2, issue 7 of May 2007. This character is also portrayed by the handsome Colton Haynes on the show Arrow. Quick little background, he was raised by Brave Bo, a Navajo medicine chief after his father died in a forest fire. Fast forward in time, he fell in love with someone called Cheshire and had a child with her, which was, you can kind of see also in the show Young Justice. They kind of threw in like that reference in there. Well, they really went in there actually. And then we fast forward again, Prometheus assaults Roy and cuts off his right arm, which gives him, you know, the infamous name of Arsenal in a sense. This character will also be focused on the channel in the future, but hopefully you guys enjoy this little background information I gave for both characters of Red Hood and Arsenal. And the last one that wraps up for today's video is called Starfire. That's right, folks, Starfire is starting in her own issue 1 series, but I'm not sure if it's a 1 out of 6 thing like how Batmite and Bizarro have it. But it's still something to pick up if you're a fan of Starfire. I believe they still made her keep the clothing that she had during the New 52, like her original clothing, I think it is. I was always a fan of Starfire because of the way they portrayed her in Teen Titans. They always made her seem like a very happy kind of character. There was never really any negative thing. That's the one thing I enjoyed about Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go. That's not for me. I don't know how that's even there. But Teen Titans I felt like was more comic oriented than Teen Titans Go, even though Teen Titans Go is more meant for like children and like I guess weird punny humor, I guess, in a sense. But still, Starfire was still one of my favorite characters in there because of the way she had like her own persona. She could fly. She threw this like green laser magic stuff going around. And it was cool when her and Raven switched bodies during the series of Teen Titans. I found it to be pretty cool. And again, in Young Justice, I was hoping they were going to introduce her in there. But unfortunately, Young Justice was pulled the plug. But anyways, here's a little bit of background information on Starfire. First appearance of Starfire was in DC Comics Presents issue 26 in October 1980. This character was created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, which, by the way, George Perez is an amazing artist. Anyway, Starfire is a character I'm sure most of us are familiar with. If not, you probably should be. She almost came close to marrying Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, but their wedding was interrupted by Raven back when she was evil during that time. Although in the Kingdom Come universe, both Starfire and Nightwing had a daughter called Nightstar. But I think they still introduced Nightstar again, I'm not too sure. Another information is that she was part of the series of Red Hood and the Outlaws, something I'm going to pick up one day, and I feel like you guys should too because I always hear a lot of good things about this comic. And another thing, last but not least, she also had a sister that is known as Blackfire. And I believe she is also part of the vegan system. I can never really pronounce that thing. But hopefully this information was still, you know, nice. Alright, so that wraps up for today's comic book review, or comic book releases. Not comic book review, comic book releases. I hope you guys enjoy this approach in comics, but again, I'm more than welcome to hearing some suggestions or reading some suggestions in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't left a like already, and if you guys aren't subscribed, subscribe. My channel includes both gaming and comic book oriented stuff. I am trying to throw some other stuff in there, more things that I felt like I personally enjoy. I enjoy unboxing, that's why I did these unboxings for you guys. And I will be doing character spotlights, just in case some of you guys want to know. And if you guys are wondering how come I don't put any Marvel stuff on the channel, well, recently I started doing Lego Marvel, so I guess, you know, in a sense that counts as something. But I also have Marvel comics videos similar to what I just did here for you guys tomorrow, and I hope I can be as informative as I can, or at least give you guys the information that these comics are coming out tomorrow, in a sense. So, anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, you guys.